Well, this is going to be a bit of a shock to all those nut jobs out there. Uh, to all the sleep deprived, emotionally screwed up. Yeah, I'm one of you anyway. This is the Weaver Agency of Roseman, California, singing out to those patients of the Kaiser Foundation and to those who are in the behavioral health unit doing the picket line. I'm walking out there with you, even though I'm physically not out there with you. Currently, it's 3:40 in the evening for the afternoon on the 18th, Friday, October 2024. This information had been out there for about a few days. I just picked up on it. I already picked up on a little bit of a news flash, but it didn't have that much information on the Kaiser's website. We're out here in Southern California. There's going to be a kickoff of a strike happening on Monday. Reason why you got all those nice, lovely phone calls and rescheduled of things because they don't tell you very much on their end, and they're not required to. But the Los Angeles Times, if you happen to do a news search on it, Yahoo News picked up on it, so it's got the article of the LA Times in there for this. It's dated today at 3 o'clock in the morning when this thing posted. It says more than 2,000 Kaiser mental health professionals could go on strike Monday. And their response is to cancel every appointment out there in Kaiser regarding the behavioral health unit. I was so damn depressed about it, I had to sleep over this thing. When you're depressed and you're suffering through PTSD like I am, sleep seems to be one of the self-defense mechanisms to try to settle you out a little bit. That or at least chemical usage of medications. Well, thank you. I'm going to read what the article has to say. This was done by Emily Albert Reyes. Dateline Friday, October 18th, 2024 at 3 in the morning. More than 2,000 unionized psychologists, therapists, and other mental professionals at Kaiser, Permanente, and Socal. Yeah, I put Socal in there. Are preparing to strike Monday in complaints that the massive system has failed to address problems with how it provides mental health care. Now, nowhere did we see this one coming except that little flag that we got from Kaiser on this one. And I tried to go on their website and it doesn't have information. The story goes on. The planned walkout falls 1 year after Kaiser reached a sweeping settlement with California regulators who faulted it for failing to ensure timely access to mental health care. The agreement requires the plan to pay $50 million in penalties and invest $150 million over 5 years in improvements. Under the agreement, Kaiser acknowledged it didn't have enough mental health care professionals. Well, I prefer professionals, not providers. Which resulted in excessive wait times, quote unquote, for therapy. They didn't have enough doctors and therapists to help you out, which meant you had to wait a hell of a long time for it. I know, been through it myself many times. The healthcare organization says that in recent years it's invested more than $1 billion in mental health, expanded the Southern California mental health workforce by more than 30% in 4 years. However, here we goes with a but on this one here. But the National Union of Healthcare Workers said Kaiser hasn't fixed the problem. Union surveys of the Kaiser mental health workers it represents in Southern California found 62%, that's more than half, of their departments lacked enough staff to provide timely and appropriate care, while 71% of them said they regularly had to work beyond normal hours, which means the therapists that you and I are dealing with are working themselves to death. At the bargaining table, the union has pushed for better pay and benefits, including raises totaling more than 30% over 4 years. Doing so, the union leader said, would reduce turnover and help bring their compensation in line with other kinds of Kaiser professionals after pay freezes in the past. They're not kidding about the pay freezes. Once they got them locked in, they couldn't get past them, except when the unions had to struggle over that shit. There was a lot of stories about that one. I'd pass over that one. And Kaiser's not happy to turn over that information. That's for damn sure. Union members also want more time to handle duties outside of therapy appointments. They said that in Southern California, Kaiser therapists are guaranteed as little as 2 hours a week to handle responsibilities such as preparing treatment plans or responding to patients' emails. Much less than in Northern California. Out here in Southern California, you're going to be sending information to your doctors, to your therapist, even YouTube links. They ain't got time to watch them. They ain't got time to listen to them. They ain't got time for anything. So you're lucky enough if they've got equipment necessary to pick up anybody's video transmissions to let them know what's going on with them. I don't do the emails because I like the personal touch here. I'd like the video. I used to like the written letters like that in the past, but these days I like this better. I can show them what's happening. They can see me. They can hear me. Even though we're not in the office. That's a logistical nightmare for me to get down there. Try this one for a personal touch. And I'm not done with the article yet. I just wanted to do a little stopgap on this one to explain my little situation here. So if in case anybody of the therapists who know me, I've already got my own issues happening this past week that I couldn't even talk to my therapist about. Not like doing a video, but since the appointment's already been canceled, this is the only way I can get to her. And if she actually has access to YouTube on other channels or other ways, then she can keep track of what's going on. I've already had major flare-ups going on. I already had major flare-ups happening already. Hearing reality kicking in and people, a lot of things are triggering me that turned me into an emotional basket case over the past few weeks. That I damn near came close of dropping out of college. Yeah, 58-year-old still going to college. What the hell? Why not? But I was having issues over that. Other things popping up left and right. I'd prefer talking in person, but they happen. Now, even though Kaiser had graciously volunteered to have other therapists, I want the one I'm assigned to that I've got a rapport with. I like that one. She knows my file. She knows me. She has other patients. Probably feel the same way about her, that they can trust her because they can deal with this one. And it took me a long while to get used to the one I've got right now. And this one's special. All right, back to the article. We have voiced our concern about how therapy at Kaiser feels like an assembly line, according to one psychiatric counselor who is on the bargaining committee. At an existing level of staffing, quote, the results are burned out therapists and patients who just get the short end of the stick, unquote. Union officials said that based on Kaiser data, a quarter of the mental health professionals hired in recent years in Southern California have left, many of them within just a year. The union argued that the revolving door interrupts treatment for patients who have built trusting relationships with their therapist. I mean, when you get that relationship built, when you get that one-on-one going on with the people that are supposed to be helping you out, trying to not go insane, one way or another, it's kind of hard to build up that kind of level of trust again. My issues almost considered life-threatening on some occasions. Without that kind of personal touch, without that kind of human touch to deal with, I'm sorry, I can't deal with another shrink. I can't deal with another therapist, even though if they read the notes Doesn't matter if they read the notes. They got to know the person. It takes them a while for you to get a rapport with a patient if you're working with them. And then after that, forget it. I don't know how many times I've changed therapists over the past several years being with my insurance. And with another insurance company that actually didn't work out too well. Okay, finishing up the article here. Kaiser countered that its current attrition was under 10% and, quote, well below the industry average, unquote. Healthcare organization says wages for such workers were already above market rates, but it had offered raises at the bargaining table totaling more than 18%, as well as more time for duties outside appointments. In a statement, it accused the labor of slow-walking negotiations. Oh boy. We do not feel a strike is necessary. We do not think it's good for our members, and we think that we can reach an agreement without a work stoppage. According to this Rhonda Cabrin, Vice President of Behavioral Health and Wellness for Kaiser Permanente in Southern California and Hawaii. Hawaii ain't on strike. Why isn't Hawaii on strike? Why do we got to be on strike in Southern California? Come on, Hawaii, join up with us. Be on strike. Have the patients drive you nuts, and so is the therapist. Why not? Let's go nuts. To finish up, the clash comes 2 years after Kaiser mental health therapists in Northern California went on strike for 10 weeks. I got to research that one. Anyway, labor union officials said that after that walkout, Northern Cal clinicians secured more time for duties outside of patients' appointments and won other provisions that have improved staffing and services. $10 for NorCal? We're just getting this thing started, boys and girls. So, how much jammed up are the membership lines are going to be? I wonder. The only way to talk to member services is through the phone, right? Of course, if you're going to be stuck at the clinic, wherever the hell it's going to be, the clinic or hospital, whatever location you're at. I wonder how many more clinicians, therapists, and shrinks will be over there to help out. And if it is just going to be administrative out there, just going to be listening to the people and trying to take notes and saying, well, the doctors will help you out eventually. I'm going to be expecting pushback from the patients on this one. That Kaiser management decided to screw around by penny pinching on the backs of the patients. It's not raising costs. No, it's driving the staff nuts where they can't do their jobs. I'm a union man, but I also have to see it from both sides of the point of view. But I'm also a patient, which makes my job harder because now I have to deal with this. I don't have a job. I'm a patient. I get to deal with this. People look at me and think I'm probably weird enough anyway. It's how we feel, don't we? We think we're normal, and then maybe we're not so normal. If we were normal, we wouldn't be seeing our therapists with issues and situations and traumas that are still affecting us to this day. And how long and how hard was it for us to go seek help when poked and prodded by other sources of telling us we need to be this way? And by the time we start to get to see results, well, we know that we're starting to see the results because of the help that was pushed and prodded and shoved down our throats. But then again, we agreed to give it a shot. And then when we did and we found some people to trust, now we got other people saying, oh no, you can't have them because. That's what I'm seeing right now. And so those who are trying to provide the help that we depend upon, that we rely on, are saying, this is no damn good. You can't do this to us. And the others are saying, watch us. They had no choice but to say, enough. We're not doing it just for us. Unfortunately, we got to be putting the patients in the crossfire on this one. And they're going to be not liking us because we had to do what we had to do to survive. To make sure that the patients survive one way or another. Maybe they don't have the tools. Maybe they don't have enough tools to help us out. Maybe they need more time or more whatever they need. But if they're not given that, then how are we supposed to get the help necessary? I'm only talking about myself here. Is I depend upon, because sometimes they're the only friends we've got. Other people I can chatter on social media. Nobody gives a flying. Okay, I could use the words. I could go vernacular on this one. But I want to keep it clean just a little bit here. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. In my experience and my observations, nobody gives a flying hoot. I have posted on social media how the hell I was doing all the time. I don't get response from so-called friends or so-called people who knew me, who theoretically know me. They don't. They've seen, they read, they've heard. They don't care. I post the stuff out on my own YouTube channel, The Diary of a Griever named John Weaver. And I've got another one. Substitute the letter A and puts in the word the. So I got two channels. The is the backup. A is the prime. Keep that in mind. I started it out a long time ago as a diary for my own trials and my own mental anguish, because I lost too many people in my life. Within the last decade and a half, within that period, I have lost animals. I have lost mothers and a brother, and I did say mothers with a plural in there. Surrogate mother still counts for me as a mother. I've lost friends. I've lost family. Before that, I lost many more. But the past decade and a half have pushed me to an edge. They've pushed me to an edge. And I need the help. I need the help because I feel like I'm broken down all the damn time. I'm getting triggered more and more these days. I'm getting to the point where I can't put up the barriers anymore to protect me from the pain. It's never easy when you lose people that you put an investment into. It's never easy for me to say and do these kind of things. I hardly ever do the live shots. I do these videos all the time because I'm pouring my heart and soul out. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of other things I pour myself out to. And I just... Let me show you something I've got here. Emotional support people. Emotional support animals. Emotional support. But she is family. And she is slowly losing it. But she tries to be active left and right. I can't leave her. She can't leave me. It's that simple. She's emotionally needy and I'm emotionally needy. I can't leave the house all the time. Because I have to keep an eye on her and her health. She's blind. She can't hear as much. Almost nothing. She can smell. And she's running around an apartment because it's the only place she knows right now that she's safe. I took her outside this morning and she wanted to run around all the place, but then she started whining. And I know that whine. And I take her back in here so she can feel safe. I didn't want her to go outside and be lost again. I know she wants to go out there and run, but it's too damn dangerous. That's even also dangerous in here too. I have to watch out for her. I'm a caregiver for her. Without her, I don't know if my own mental stabilization, I don't know if my emotional levels will ever be the same. And it hurts like hell. I could express my anger a great deal on the people, but I don't. Because I got no anger towards the people. I've got an anger towards myself, and I have to get that worked out. There's a hell of a lot of fear in that has to be worked out. Fear of losing more and more, that hurts and hurts a lot more because I have made the emotional investment into it, or them. And it hurts more and more. I'm understanding more and more what it is to be suicidal. Suicidal in thinking. Not in action, but even in thinking could possibly lead to an action. I said could. But there's always the choice. See, I've already been through death before. I'm not talking about seeing other people go through it. Myself, 4 years old, open heart surgery, corrective surgery on mitral valves, and I died 3 times and came back to life. And believe me, that is not an experience you don't want to go through. Not even at 4 years old, let alone an adult. But a lot of people have. They're grateful that they're still here, but wondering how come they're not upstairs. I'm not ready for it. I was told I wasn't ready for it at the age of 4 years old. These days, I could be, but I don't want to go yet. I'm scared of dying. I've seen too many people that I cared about in this lifetime, in this mortal plane of ours, dead. Too many animals I had to keep their ashes. Me and death don't mix. I'd like to live life a little bit longer. I like waking up in the morning, even though my back may be killing me and my head's screaming at me. A lot of memories would come up to haunt my ass. And if I happen to get emotionally triggered by seeing or experiencing something, even a flashback, I know it's affecting me more and more where I can't think straight. I'm losing memory, short-term memory, which would be affected to long-term memory, which would scare me that I am going to go through a mental death. And that's what frightens me. Another reason why I do the recordings to talk about my life, to prove to myself that I lived, did something in my life. I took care of my family. They took care of me. We took care of each other. There's no reason why I can't keep doing that. But my family's dead. Very few cousins actually give a shit out there. But they don't keep a constant. I've got friends, theoretical friends. When I had access to them, we had communications. But without me being in their life all the damn time, I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm not even an afterthought. This is my afterthought. This is me doing a recording of me talking about things, including about therapy, trying to make sense, maybe get me back to a level where I can try to function beyond what I'm functioning right now as it is. Afraid of leaving the apartment. Not afraid of the outside trying to affect me, as I'm afraid of my dog. Because I want her still in my life, but I know one day she's going to be out of here. And that's what's been driving me crazy all the time. I have dealt with this too many damn times. I don't want to deal with another one. But I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to deal with myself as it is when her time goes. When she's going to go. And that hardest day will be taking her on the last trip to a vet. And then, what happens after that? That's what scares the hell out of me as well. That's another thing that scares the hell out of me. What happens after that? What are my choices? What are my actions? What are the things that are going to be affecting me the most? Now, these are the things I still need to talk more and more with my therapist about because I'm afraid, okay? I would start seeking out help to a damn priest who lives out in Halifax somewhere. He does this online church without walls. He's got an online congregation out there. It's been only several months since I've joined his outfit. Because it was talking about things that mattered. And I was listening to things that mattered. And it was calming me down. I'm getting me in touch with spirituality at this point more and more. Knowing that there may be someone out there beyond the mortal concept that still cares about me. Why? I don't know. I'm still a fool and idiot. That's what I am. This is important, what I just talked about. This is important about the article, about the things that may happen, probably on Monday. And if it does happen on Monday, then I've got to be prepared for maybe a month or months without help. Put out a long waiting list for other therapists who don't know what the hell is going on. I don't want to be turned into a damn revolving door. My plan at this point is if my therapist is still able to look at YouTubes, she may not be able to watch them, but if she can listen to them while she's marching, understand that I am among other patients who care, marching with her. Want her to come back to help us. Maybe one day we can help her. Give back what she's given. I don't have that many friends I can depend upon. Pour your heart and soul out. And it's a dangerous thing for me to do that, but I'm doing it anyway on my channel. If or when it's my time, I hope people understand. I don't know what I'm trying to make them understand, except it's important to have family and friends who you can depend upon, draw support on. They're the bane of your existence, the backbone, the frame. Without it, you're nothing. The magic word, I said, family, is a trigger. Doesn't matter what form or context it comes to me, it does. And what happens, my brain is situating itself for the response. It'll take something innocuous to trigger me, and then I'm off to crying land and wanting to kill myself and praying to God, forgive me. But I don't want to die yet. I still want to be lucid. I don't take any drugs or alcohol or chemical imbibing at this point of any sort. I don't smoke. I've been a secondhand smoker all my life. I actually had a mother and a brother smoke. No wonder I'm screwed up. In the lungs anyway. But I'm still here. I'm still here. And I'm struggling. I'm struggling like everybody else. That being said, Kaiser, Permanente, get them off the damn strike. Get them settled. Get the professionals back to where they are so they can help us deal with our lives so one day we can repay the favor and maybe help some and others in the process. I don't know what the hell I'd be doing for help, but I'll try anyway.